When my wife and I moved into the Fox Ridge Pines neighborhood, we were looking for peace, space, and a place to decompress between operations. I work for the Department of Homeland Security, more specifically in an operations logistics capacity. Most of what I do is classified, but let's just say I'm in charge of making sure critical gear is prepped, staged, and ready at a moment's notice. And a big part of that includes a reinforced mobile unit housed beneath a government-issued carport. The carport itself wasn't anything flashy. Steel frame canopy, reinforced braces, weather-resistant tarpaulin with modular mounts. But because it was designated to house federally equipped vehicles, it had a protective clearance status that was not only approved by the Department of Homeland Security, but monitored monthly by their logistics chain of command. Unfortunately, nobody told the HOA. You've got 72 hours to remove that eyesore. It started with a bright orange flyer taped to the carport's support post. No warning, no email, just a passive-aggressive note signed by HOA Code Enforcement Team, citing an unauthorized external structure in violation of Article 14B. It gave me 3 days to remove the structure or face escalating fines and forced removal. I attended the next HOA meeting to clear things up. I explained calmly that the carport was registered with the federal government and that tampering with it could interfere with a Homeland Security operation. I even brought the documentation, partially redacted, but still bearing DHS letterhead and a signature from a deputy director. Karen, the HOA president, of course, looked unimpressed. "We don't recognize federal registration," she said flatly. "It's not in our bylaws." I blinked. "It's not a matter of your bylaws. This is federal property. You can't just touch it. Then maybe you should park your federal equipment somewhere else." They actually went through with it. On the morning of the third day, I was called into a logistics briefing across the city. When I returned 4 hours later, my carport was gone, completely disassembled. Parts of the steel structure were stacked like scrap metal next to my shed. My secure DHS mobile unit, a vehicle equipped with sensors, hardened comms gear, and satellite integration, was exposed to the sun. I checked my cameras. The HOA had contracted a third-party service to remove the unauthorized structure. No federal clearance, no notification, nothing. They even left a note. "We warned you. Consider this a lesson in compliance. HOA enforcement." That's when I made the call. I wasn't angry. I was surgical. One call to Homeland, then a few emails. Within 6 hours, a field logistics supervisor from DHS rolled into the neighborhood. Behind him, 2 federal agents from the Infrastructure Security Division. The same contractor that dismantled the carport was also being investigated for tampering with communications gear in another jurisdiction. This incident sealed their fate. Karen emerged from her porch, arms crossed. "Are you people here to take care of the car canopy?" "No, ma'am," the lead agent said. "We're here to investigate the unlawful destruction of federal infrastructure." "What?" He held up a document. "Under Title 18, Section 1361 of the U.S. Code, willfully damaging federal property is a felony. This structure was registered and federally protected. You authorized its destruction." Her face went pale. Federal response. Local shock. Karen was interviewed for over 3 hours. She tried to throw the rest of the board under the bus, but her emails gave her away. The HOA had acted independently, knowingly ignoring federal registration status. In the days that followed, a federal injunction was filed against the HOA board. All HOA code enforcement activity was suspended pending review. My carport was rebuilt by Homeland contractors, only this time with a biometric locking enclosure. Karen has since stepped down from the board. She hasn't returned to the meetings. A few other members also resigned. The community, once quietly ruled by HOA edicts, has been unusually calm ever since. Why this matters. What most people don't realize is that agencies like Homeland Security rely on embedded personnel and off-site equipment caches all over the country. When a neighbor or HOA interferes, they're not just breaking rules, they're potentially compromising operations that safeguard national interests. My carport wasn't decorative, it was defense. And Karen, in her arrogance, thought she could bulldoze her way through anything. She learned the hard way.